Monkey versus the Headhunter. This is the group that had the hunter, the monkey, and the falcon, and Iggy. Um,
A grifter, I guess.
yeah, it doesn't fit the theme. Catnip would have been a better choice, I think. And this should also be another match where we're coming in expecting even, though we just saw that Magic Doer really put the beating onto Hunu. Who's your favorite if pressed?
Oh, this is so hard. I guess I might go with the Headhunter. We've seen, I think, a little bit better performances overall out of the Headhunter before in previous competitions, but it's so close that I honestly wouldn't put like I wouldn't bet money on this either way.
I'm wondering why. Okay, we're good. I just can't click things. So, like always, we're gonna be starting up on Ballroom, and it's gonna be the spy as the headhunter as twin. My game's
You
slow to load
know,
today.
syntactically, I'm not sure that was all great, but go for it.
Okay, it's fine. And we got that Taft Amba. Do we? I can't see
Yes.
anything right now.
It just tell.
I need to play a bit more Spy Party before next week because seeing things is hard right now. Let's do this in three, two, one, playing it.
Oppo noob. Oppo noob. Anyways, the headhunter going to a painting bag to start us off. Nothing doing here, not even with an ST or anything. We're just gonna sip our drink and get away with it.
This will be a risky chase if we take it. I don't think. Yeah, it's just not gonna work out. It doesn't look particularly suspicious. One thing I think Ambassador just took a drink. We might want to get that fingerprintable drink. This is not the place to do it. I don't think Toby can actually come to us from here.
You could stutter step forward and probably not get noticed because you are behind a pillar here. So it would be a nice little way to get Toby some angle behind you. There is still a difficult fingerprint on that drink, so we could go for it, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. It might be a bug as we go around here, but it's not. We just actually take a pretty hard bug path without taking the bug, and it was being watched. It looked like from spedmonkey, but I'm not sure if it picked up any suspicion for that.
Yeah, we do have the opportunity on the way back if we decide to go that direction.
Ooh, it's gonna be a wrong arm bug if we go for it. It's so nice that it's
That's a really good
completely
bug.
invisible on the sniper screen, and then you come out of that path with the book in your left hand. That's almost never going to be caught, and it's hard to even credit that as the sniper. So the headhunter making really big strides and getting a spy winner.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he actually thought about that, and that's why he didn't bug on the way in. It was specifically because he wanted to do it with a book in hand. If he had that much forethought into his play, I am looking forward to the rest of this set. I'm wondering what we're planning on doing this book, though. We can take it to blue. Then we're doing two hard tells. Might be a bit unnecessary, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, microfilm and bug as your hard tells, as your non-seduce contact missions on Ballroom can be extremely strong because they're both the two missions that are both hard tells and yet do not leave any trace. So doing that may, you might be able to win a game without ever being a big suspect at all. We do pick up our contact, so oh, here, yep, here it comes. Into the wrong bookshelf it goes. Let's see if Spudmonkey remembers this. This is the moment of truth. You have to know this now, but we're not being paid attention to. Instead, it's going to be a highlight being zoomed in on as they take the list, and that means we only need flirt, and we are not a suspect at all. 1 minute left to get one flirt done, and that's going to be super, super strong win from the Headhunter. I can't see a way that Spudmonkey comes back from this.
Yeah, with the two tells that cannot be traced, microfilm and bug, there's really no chance that we get shot. The big thing that we want to make sure doesn't happen is not get this flirt off.
Yeah, we are still a little bit too far away. We had 34% before, I believe, but now we're only up to 66%, where normally you'd see 68%, so we are a couple of percents down if we just keep standing here.
Yeah, generals moved out of the spot if we want to like twitch over. Otherwise, we might be risking that we need to hit a green test, and there's no There's no point.
Oh
There's no point. Don't
no!
do it.
The
We're now up
headhunter, you
to a
need to
third hardtail
reposition.
potentially.
Oh no! How are you gonna do this?
We're doing.
It's gonna be at the last second swap here. Here comes the swap. Overtime's gonna happen, and we're gonna get shot for it. To Headhunter, no, you had this game in the bag, and Spedmonkey pulls it back off of the fact that the Headhunter. I don't know if they realized they weren't in range of that flirt.
Yeah, so 34% means that you have to be close. The big reason that we knew as casters is we saw the flirt for 45 seconds prior where he got 33%. There are some like hidden percentages, but generally you do really want to move in a bit closer there. It's a small twitch. You're much more likely to get shot for the swap than you are for the twitch over to do the flirt or
Or
leave
even
and come
just
back.
leaving come back. You're not a suspect at all. I don't know. Maybe the headhunter thought that they were a bigger suspect than they were, but I can't imagine that they thought that. I think this is just they thought they were in range of that flirt, and they weren't. And in the end, that means that they get shot.
You also do win if you hit that green test, but as we've seen all last set, it's harder to hit the green test when it matters on the flirt.
Yeah, really
Now,
unfortunate for the headhunter here. Kind of going from 1-0 almost certainly to throwing it back over into Spedmonkey's hands. Now Spedmonkey will see if they can take control of that gift that they got given by the headhunter here and really make this set into theirs.
yeah, it's one thing to have a throw. The other person does have to still catch it, though. We'll see if SpedMonkey can do it in three, two, one, playing it.
Oh, this is a bug. You were
It,
asking for the chaos bugs, pwned, and there it is. It seems to be completely unseen, and that's such big progress right in the early of the game. Against a lot of people, that just means you've won your spy game now.
yeah, so now we need to figure out a way to close this game without doing another hard tell
Without,
or just
oh,
purloin
yeah,
or
white.
just purloin.
I think Spedmonkey's feeling himself a little bit too much here. That Purloin is a little bit hasty, I think, especially since it was a white. We do gulp and run away with it. We were behind a pillar, and the Purloin does not seem to have been noticed. That big conversation is blocking Toby's tray for a lot of the time right now, so it looks like we're just completely on the other side of the venue, and it hasn't even been noted by the Headhunter here. Big miss by the Headhunter, and Spedmonkey gets away with what could have ruined that early Chaos Bug.
Yeah, the problem is we've seen games before, I don't know, like a minute ago, where someone completes two hardtails and then still finds a way to lose. Banana Bread here would help us out. We're gonna lose a few highlights, but
But then we only need to do flirt.
when,
There's,
that,
you know,
then we
that
only need
couldn't
to do
possibly
flirt.
go wrong. That could not possibly go wrong. I'm sure. Oh boy.
Okay, if Twin can go in this conversation with Red Dress, then we have a couple highlights that we're getting with the Banana Bread. It's really hard to convince yourself that Banana Bread's good here with three people at the same statues.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if Monkey can take it here because at this point, I think if you just contact and then get that flirt done, because we're burning time here, and surely flirt couldn't take that much time, right? But we've seen it happen once. I don't want to see it happen again. We don't even take the contact here. That's also a little bit dangerous in that sense
The,
because the
the, the
double agent could leave
sequencing you want
us.
to do is flirt, contact, flirt. You want to find out how aggressive you need to be on your flirts by seeing if you can hit the green one on the first flirt. It does mean that we are going to have to cycle back to that same conversation if we are going to do the banana bread. The only savings grace here is there's not a list in that tray. I think we would have taken it again if there was.
Yeah. There is also another option in the fact that this is going to be actually a statue visit game. No contacts going to be coming off here in this game if Sped Monkey is completing in the way I expect him to at this point. But I was gonna say if we contact and say Buns is in for the contact, that could just be a shot on Buns. She did have full inspects, and the Purloin is gone, so that could be a finish. We are going to go step in for the next flirt, probably. No, not quite. We're gonna take a slow, take a chill pill and slow down for a second.
Yeah, we need to do this incredibly quickly. Bun's thankfully not moving
All
too
right, here
far away.
comes our next flirt.
We need to get out of here
White
immediately.
cast.
Get
Yeah,
out of
23
here.
seconds is not enough time to timer flirt, so we are going to have to just immediately leave. Spedmonkey does do that, do exactly that. So we need one more flirt to win this game with 13 seconds on the clock. And where have we seen this before? Looks like it's not
This
going to
is
have to
fine.
be resorting
But
to a
she
hardtail,
she
though.
she can't run away fast enough. The only problem. Oof, that shot was timed right. We we wouldn't have been the overtime shot. We were fine, but the only risk there is we get shot for flirting prior to picking up a book. Twin distracting enough, and it's really hard to hold your shot as it's beeping down to zero.
Yeah, and Spedmonkey manages to make it a bit of a similar situation to what had happened uh, with the headhunter here, and they actually made it work this time. Got the full flirt done, but actually doesn't matter because Twin does take the bullet for probably fingerprints. I think they were looking at they were right near a briefcase. So
They were the last briefcase, yeah. We're courtyard. The headhunter down 2-0, and it really doesn't feel like it necessarily should be. But we'll see if they can not tilt in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
we are playing general. And as general, you do have a bit better opportunities for bugs, but it's still courtyard. You still have to set it up well, and we're going to immediately pick up that early highlight in exchange for the fact that we don't have to go to statues again.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like the early highlight against almost anybody. It really makes particularly like general, who you really want to be bugging on, more likely than not. Doing it before the bug is going to make it a lot harder.
Yeah, here comes a contact me a white test in this conversation, and that makes us look really, really suspicious really early on in this game. We go to statues, we immediately white contact, and being the biggest suspect in the game is not really what you want to be.
It honestly looks like we're framing ourselves. Like we saw the one person who went to statues and then waited till they went into conversation and then banana breaded while they were talking. Like that's what it looks like. We can't buy a 51% in this game, and we do want to get it. We've seen a lot of games come down to flirt, especially those last two.
Yeah.
You can't purloin here. You can't purloin here, but
No,
we can
no.
try.
Apparently you can. Apparently you can. The headhunter goes for it. Does hit the green test, so it isn't. And Toby wasn't exactly on screen there. Spedmaky could infer by who was around, and that Toby was offering to general there. We are picking up a briefcase now. I'm not sure if that's necessary.
I do like the play here, especially since the reject chain is absolutely
Yeah, it's
rewarding
it's
us.
it's gross for sure.
It makes it harder for the sniper to go, hold up, who's been rejecting? Well, you were holding a briefcase. Clearly, it can't be you. That's a cute stutter. I'm not sure it's legitimate in any sense, but uh, we just need to finish flirt.
Yeah,
Okay, SDA take.
68.
Let's see. Does a shot come off? Will it be on us?
Yeah, no, I would be very, very surprised if the shot came off onto us right now,
Wow.
but it does! Wow, I'm really, really, I'm not sure if Spudmonkey was just really on top of that reject chain, or if the proximity to the purloin maybe fooled them into thinking that we had done it recently. But whatever it was, it's an impressive shot from Spudmonkey, able to take what is probably a pretty uncertain shot in this case and make it work, bringing it to 3-0 now.
Yeah, SpedMonkey confirming in chat. This wasn't a reject chain shot. He didn't have General as his top suspect and then notice 5 rejects and still shoot General. We were standing right next to Toby when an SDA took, and we had already been to statues and talking during Banana Bread. And I think we needed to be as far away from Toby as we could be. We just couldn't afford to be because we need to be there for the flirt, though.
Yeah, for sure. And that means that Spudmonkey is now up 3-0 in this set. A big, big lead in the short 8-game set. So we'll see if the Headhunter could get onto the board here with a sniper one on courtyard. In the meantime, Spedmonkey is going to be looking to lock up the draw with a spy win. In three,
Perfect.
two, one, playing it.
Disney time. Let's see if we can do something magical here. Bring up the 4-0.
Well, magic is what we're starting out with. 51% flirt on the first flirt. Something we saw so much in the first set has been completely absent from this set so far.
Was
But
that a sip
Spedmonkey
BB?
manages to do it this time. I
I swear we were
maybe
sipping, and then the banana bread came off. I looked away for two
I
seconds.
I don't think we were because we were in the middle of a idle animation. I'm not sure. I wasn't looking that close. It might have been a sip BB, but we do go into statues without our hard tail done, so we do pick up that highlight. This is again that whole thing where you don't have to do the late statues, and that looks really suspicious. But we do have to do our hard tail while highlight.
Yeah,
So,
both of these guys are going Route 1, just see mission, take
oh,
mission.
this is wait. That's a
Oh.
bug that we tried to attempt, and it was completely off screen because the ambassador was just on the other side of the statue from the headhunter, so we don't get punished for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't take.
Yeah, we don't want to talk here more than anything, because it really looks like we're trying to get as close to twin as possible.
I think that Duke just actually got a highlight for the spot we were in. The mess we
We
made gets
already had
someone
a
else
highlight.
more
There's no,
suspicious.
we likely would have gotten a second highlight if we weren't already highlight. You
Hashtag
usually
bring
don't
back
see.
multiple levels of highlights.
Oh God, no! It would be so broken.
It was so broken. I wasn't even there for it, but I know it was broken.
Okay, what's our hardtail? Twin, you want to reject?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Purloin.
But we want to get two green tests, so that flirt is completely done. Twin walks away from us. We never have to worry about him again.
Okay. A well done like KCM style bug here would be fine, but Ambassador moves. I don't think we can do fingerprints at this point. I don't know any of any lingering prints. This looks
Maybe
like a
this is a
cheesy swap
swap.
potentially.
Yeah, this looks pretty cheesy, but we're gonna get the rotation away. It's gonna be a
That's
put down. We're
nope,
gonna be
nope,
break
nope.
to walk away. The headhunter has to have noticed that, but they're not taking the shot here. In 1 second left, and Spedmonkey gets away with it.
Okay.
The
Okay.
broken animation on the put
What were you
down.
looking at here, the headhunter?
Wow, I'm really surprised that Spedmonkey just didn't take the bullet for that. We were right there. We broke the animation to put it down. We walked away way too quickly, all completely on screen. But the
Yeah.
headhunter just doesn't seem to notice it. Maybe was watching wheels for a bug right there. That's the only explanation I can think of right now that would have drawn the attention so heavily away from Spedmonkey in that case. And then we rotate around to continue watching Spedmonkey. I think the headhunter saw that, but wasn't did not realize that was their last mission and they needed to shoot. And Spedmonkey gets away with it now, 4-0, locking up the guaranteed draw.
That feels like a tilt confirm. That feels like the sort of thing where I know the headhunter is more than capable of catching that. Um, and he's not didn't catch it today, and really just you go back to that game one. I don't think the headhunter's necessarily playing his A game, at least so far. He needs to take a deep breath and really put it together. The problem is bringing back 4 games, even when you're playing your best spy party, is still really hard, especially things like spy on library.
For sure, the Headhunter going to need this and every other win to bring it back to a draw here, and we'll see if they can start it out with a spy win on library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We got those boots. Let's see what we can do. If they are made for walking or not. Maybe made for bugging? Maybe made for flirting. They're made for flirting. These boots are made for flirting.
That would seem to be what we're starting out with. We do have the boots pairing here as far as our ST goes. A lot of newer players get confused about which one is actually called boots. We've got Alice or
Well,
Ponytail.
the other one's called Alice because she looks like and was modeled after Alice. I don't
Yeah, and
understand
who
why you
knows
guys
that?
get so confused.
and what new player knows that, Pwn Noob? But yeah, Ponytail here is our seduction target. Also has some boots, so the big boots flirt going on right now. We are going to go in for some statues, pick up an early highlight, and immediately go for our second flirt. 64% means that we will need a green flirt or 2 more. White flirts to finish off our flirt. So that's going to be something that's going to haunt the headhunter here a little bit, unfortunately. That was a little bit of a weird move out of conversation. I think got stuck on red dress there just a little bit.
Yeah, we were trying to go behind her potentially, or at least that was the path that ended up being taken. There just wasn't any room behind her. We need to cut in front of her through the conversation and go the long way around. We weren't on camera though. It's fine.
This will be a fingerprintable book, I believe. Yet there it is. So the headhunter making some progress here. Maybe something that spedmonkey hasn't noticed. I don't think we were ever actually noticed at this bookshelf. So if we can keep this book hidden behind the pillar, that could be very, very strong as a microfilm option later in the game once it's kind of been washed away.
I'm responding to chat. They're calling me incompetent, which is very accurate.
No.
We have a book. We have a banana bread. We get a split. Can we get a low light?
No. No lowlights
No.
here, unfortunately, but we will
Can we get a
flip
bullet?
back into the wrong bookshelf, and here it is. We don't get shot for it, so I believe that it was correct that Spedmonkey did not actually see that book ever being taken out. Now we're looking for inspects, one fingerprint, and to finish up our flirt with 2 minutes left on the clock. And honestly, that's not that bad in terms of your missions to complete here. As long as you don't spend too much time dallying, like we are in this conversation now. The headhunter does need to get those started on those missions. We'll see if the ambassador can leave a fingerprint somewhere, preferably on a statue.
Yeah, this is just the purloin
Oh, but
spot.
it's
We're gonna
actually
white
just a
test it though, and I
purloin.
don't think it's behind the pillar.
It's not behind the pillar at all, and we're being, leaned at. Like Spedmonkey looks like they know for almost certain that this purloin was us, and I'm not sure. I'm a big fan of this progressions into the game. You had progress on statues. That's how you got your highlight. You had progress on fingerprint, and all you need to do was finish up these soft tells. But instead, we go for another hard tell in a situation where we really don't need to, and it's completely on screen. And I don't think we'll be able to get away with well, actually, we might be able to get away with one more fingerprint
Yeah,
if we do it
fingerprint is
correctly.
the way out. You don't want to go to statues again. You're highlight for statues. The blue bookcase here, I believe, has a difficult. The problem with the difficult is you don't know how long you're allowed to wait. The headhunter looks like they might close it. I don't like the inspect, honestly. This is gonna get you shot more often than not.
Yeah, this is going to be in the inspect. It's the last mission, so we'll see if the shot comes off. The shot does come off. Spedmonkey closes out the set with a win, 5-0. We have 3 more games to go for tiebreaker purposes.
Okay.
Man, the headhunter not having a good day, unfortunately, while Spedmonkey is having a very good day.
Yeah, I think I would have waited a good 20 seconds and tried that book out. If the book doesn't work, then for the fingerprint, then go do the inspect. I don't like the inspect there. Even like we have more knowledge, we know that the purloin was caught, but fingerprints are just in general going to be sneakier than inspects. We get our victory lap here on library red dress, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Victory lap's always best done as a red dress.
I do like these games after the set's concluded because some of
In
them
terms of
include
result, yeah.
because some of them become some very good aggressive spy party.
Yeah,
There's my favorite was Winter Cup. Minty was down to Cartwright in my group, and Minty completed a library game in a minute. She just did the hardest of hard rushes, and it was incredibly well done. Just a bunch of green tests, and it's the sort of play that you don't really see unless there's less stakes on the line.
yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of players would do well loosening up a little bit and playing in a way that you really wouldn't expect in a competitive setting. We'll see if that happens here from the Headhunter or even Spedmonkey, knowing that they've locked up the set at this point. Um,
The tiebreakers do matter, especially in this group. It's quite competitive. Iggy the Grifter is in that same sort of level where, at least prior to this game, we really wouldn't have known who was going to be the favorite. Obviously, I'd say Sped Monkey at this point, probably the favorite. Um, do you know what Iggy the Grifter's results are so far?
I do have the page up. You'll give me a moment.
Iggy has
Let's
had one
see.
tie against the Headhunter and has not played their Week 2 match yet.
Okay, I
Thanks,
mean,
Dells.
I'd say Spedmonkey's probably the favorite then, because if Spedmonkey can beat the Headhunter handedly, and Iggy the Grifter tied the Headhunter, using the transitive? Yeah. Using some property.
Transitive?
Transitive, there we go. Property, Spedmonkey should beat Iggy the Grifter.
Unfortunately, the transitive property is not always super accurate when you're
I
talking
do
about
believe it's
Spy
also
Party.
just called a fallacy. I'm pretty
It
sure
might just be a fallacy for sure.
that's a good book pull. Good job, Sped. Let's go. These players are interesting because I don't know what we should call them. If we're gonna be silly and just shorten their names for no good reason. Do
Sped,
you think
the head.
Sped or Monkey?
Sped versus head.
Yeah, I mean the Headhunter also. I mean the head is more the more unique part of the name. Hunter Hunter's just a name. That's a name that you name a 12-year-old. You don't name
You
12-year-olds, but
you
whatever.
you name a 12-year-old?
No, it's
Do
like Aiden or something. It's a name that I associate with 12-year-olds. I don't hang out with too many 12-year-olds, but half of them are named Hunter and the other half are named Aiden, I assume.
you assume? Okay, so
We're
only.
missing pads, by the way.
Oh,
Safety
oh, that
off on
was a
us.
safety off, and I'm pretty sure that was a caught microfilm safety off.
Yeah,
So,
between microfilm, being behind the pillar, missing a couple pads, we have good reason to have caught Sped Monkey. Now it's just going to be the execution. Execution should be pretty straightforward here. We've done all the easier missions. Now executing for
oh, but
shooting
that's
someone.
safety off with the teal now.
Oh, she's standing right next to the ambassador. Should at least pull the attention away if we're gonna go do something else. Um, you're not gonna get away with middle statues though, and not get seen. Likely shot for it.
Perhaps this will be a purloin. We
I
see a
think you need
request
fake
coming
banana
in
bread to
here.
cover this. You're not gonna be able to just do a purloin.
It is a green test here, so but we are being watched pretty heavily. That reject was absolutely seen by the headhunter, so I don't think Spedmonkey is going to be able to get away with it here.
This will be behind the
Looks
pillar
like
for Taft,
Taft.
but the problem
Yeah,
is we
Taft will
still need
take,
another mission.
and the
Yeah,
shot comes off onto Spedmonkey.
yeah. There are situations there. If that was the last mission, we might be able to survive 10 seconds. But with it only being the fourth mission, we need to get that bug, and Ambassador's just running away from us a bit too quickly.
Yeah, Headhunter now on the board. Unfortunately for them, on the board after the set has been locked up. But we'll see if they can, bring it back to a more respectable 5-3 instead of, make that scoreline look a little bit better.
Yeah, we're playing as Queen in three, two, one, playing it. I'm gonna take a moment and use my position here as a caster to beg to checker to give some official names to our characters. Please name Alice Alice, and please give Irish a real name so we don't just call her Irish when she's not apparently Irish.
Well, I mean, she's Mediterranean, quote unquote, but look at those colors.
You don't dress like a Christmas tree unless you're Irish or it's Christmas. I mean, you're meant to pick up that briefcase, by the way. But we might get double prints. We're not gonna get double prints because Boots is gonna steal the briefcase. But we do get a printable statue plus inspect. The Headhunter's very much gone Route 1. He's just taking the most mission completion that's readily available to him.
Yeah, and this is an interesting play because we don't usually see these super aggressive. I'm going to do a lot of things at the beginning of a high-rise game sets, just because spies don't like getting attention that early. They want to see if the party is going to pan out for them, and let them see if an AI will get shot instead. So doing this early can be pretty unspy-like. So if the headhunter maybe wants to go in for these second inspects, find another fingerprint somewhere, perhaps off a drink, it still has a difficult on it if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, there it goes. RST takes it.
Yeah, there's a problem with fingerprintable statues on 305 maps where typically you're always planning on doing flirt and doing banana bread. So if you're doing a fingerprintable statue, you're saying I'm going to complete fingerprints and statues. I'm at least getting the suspicion of that I'm trying to complete both, and that means that you basically are committing yourself to a silent game, or you're just doing more suspicious activity than you need to be doing.
Yeah, and again, some players it does work like this character's completing missions, but they weren't completing missions like a spy. And I have heard that many times from many people. They're usually behavioralists, so that kind of thing is not every sniper is going to be doing it. Some snipers are just going to be like, okay, what's your progress? You look suspicious. I'm going to highlight you. You're the spy probably. So it really depends on your sniper if they care. Looks like spedmonkey is just taking the route of I'm going to highlight you and watch you.
This is a fingerprintable book. We're hoping that at least one of these fingerprints wasn't caught. The problem for the headhunter is both of them were very direct. We just went and grabbed them as soon as the ambassador left. Uh, we're
The
also
other
not
problem
finishing
is, yeah,
flirt.
we don't have flirt at all right now, and so that's going to be a little bit of an issue. We could go in for this contact here. Here it comes. We want this to be green, but it's not. It's a white test. We are kind of hiding behind
Banana
taft here,
bread.
so our talk is a little bit less obvious. But instead, the shot comes off anyways. And even though that we were clear, I feel like we were very clearly not flirting. And a sniper who is a little more experienced in watching the flirt on a high rise might not have taken that shot quite yet, but Spedmonkey is like, okay, you know what? I don't care about your a spy-like, unspy-like business and how you complete missions. You're completing missions, so I'm going to shoot you, and that is correct.
I thought that
Banana
was just
bread.
incredibly spy-like. I thought that was like the only Yomi is my opponent going to go grab fingerprints immediately, or do they respect me at all? And the headhunter hasn't shown much respect this set. He's been doing very much aggressive plays consistently. It's a good shot by Spedmonkey, and now he gets one chance to try and Brazil him. Go for that 7-1, and we'll do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We are running back twin. I think we started off the set with twin, and we're going to end it with twin.
Yes, at least for Spedmonkey spy games, for sure. Spedmonkey going for a little bit more of an orthodox start onto high rise, getting an early green test on the flirt.
Yeah, the big thing at the start of this game is Red Dress decided to go do middle statues. It's now on Spedmonkey with the 51% flirt, but you have someone who just did middle statues into fingerprint. Do you want to try and frame them over completing? Preferably just do both at the same time. Maybe timer flirt, green flirt,
Oh, but that little move with the briefcase right there could be seen as a low lightable offense by
or
some
very
snipers.
suspicious. But it looked weird.
It looked
Now
weird
Alice is
for
picking
a
up, and she's
reason.
the other statue visitor. So now she's got half an inspect and
Oh, she goes behind the
difficult
ambassador as
fingerprints.
well.
Yeah, honestly, I think Red Dress looked like she didn't want to go behind the ambassador. It also looks like she's going back to the same statue. Spedmonkey is not the person of interest in this game so far.
Yeah, for sure. I think the headhunter does need to be aware of the fact that Spedmonkey is able to have completed flirt by now. So it's not a character that you can completely discount because they do have that just timer flirt thing in this conversation. But that's kind of a background awareness and not something that you're going to be actively thinking about. You're actively thinking about, are these two highlights flirting? What are they doing? Are they finishing missions? What's going on here? And that's a big attention sink. So maybe if Spedmonkey can get something by while we're thinking about these two big suspects in Alice and in Oprah here. We'll see if
Yeah, from Spedmonkey's side, the only reason Banana Bread's not brilliant is if Alice happens to be the SDA. Really, it's completing missions and making Red Dress more suspicious. It's fallen apart a bit with Twin leaving, but it's something I think Red Dress might just get shot in the spot as soon as we say Banana Bread.
yeah, it could be the case. It looks like it's
Oh,
sticking up onto Alice, and that contact would not have been brilliant because it would have knocked out the eventual shot. Spedmonkey was just smart enough to be able to see into the future for that one, and ends up with the 7-1 scoreline against the Headhunter.
yeah. crediting a bug there would have been a very long distance, like tip of the finger bug if Alice did bug there. But like we said, these two characters were being very active, and it's not surprising that one of them got shot.
Yeah, for sure, and that means that we are on to our third set of the